was the darndest thing, a silly accident. I abandoned the flower arrangement and smoothed the wrinkle in the thick velvet drapes, remembering that fateful day. The sun had been out, melting away the last of the Christmas snow. I'd decided to walk over to Artie's Meats and Deli over on Main Street, a block away from the funeral home, to grab a bite for lunch since they had the best homemade chili this side of the Mississippi. I'd just opened the door when the snow and ice around the plastic Santa Claus Artie had put on the roof of the deli gave way, sending the 5-foot jolly man crashing down on my head, knocking me out. Flat out. I knew I was on my way to meet my maker when Chicken Teeter showed up at my hospital bedside. I had put Chicken Teeter in the ground 2 years ago, but there he was, telling me all sorts of crazy things that I didn't understand. He blabbed on and on about guns, murders, and all sorts of dealings I wanted to know nothing about. It wasn't until my older sister and business partner, Charlotte Ray Raines, walked right through Chicken Teeter's body, demanding that the doctor do something for my hallucinations, that I realized I wasn't dead after all. I had been hallucinating. That's all. Hallucinating. Doc Clyde said I had a case of the funeral trauma from working with the dead too long. Too long? At 28, I had been an undertaker for only 3 years. I had been around the funeral home my whole life. It was the family business, currently owned by my granny, but run by my sister and me. Some family business. Ruthie tugged my sleeve, bringing me out of my memories. "And her," she said, pointing across the room. Every single one of Ruthie's fingers was filled up to its knuckles with rings. She had been very specific in her funeral pre-need arrangements and had diagrammed where she wanted every single piece of jewelry placed on her during her viewing. The jewelry jangled as she wagged a finger at Sleepy Hollow's mayor, Anna Grace May. "I've been trying to get an appointment to see her for 2 weeks, and she couldn't make time for me. Humph." Doc Clyde had never been able to explain the touching thing. If Ruthie was a hallucination, how could she touch me? I rubbed my arm, trying to erase the feeling, and watched as everyone in the room turned their heads toward Mayor May. Ruthie crossed her arms, lowered her brow, and snarled, "Must be an election year, her showing up here like this." "She's pretty busy," I whispered. Mayor May sashayed her way up to see old Ruthie laid out, shaking hands along the way as if she were the President of the United States about to deliver the State of the Union speech. Her long, straight auburn hair was neatly tucked behind each ear, and her tight pencil skirt showed off her curvy body in just the right places. Her perfect white teeth glistened in the dull funeral home setting. If she wasn't close enough to shake your hand, the mayor did her standard wink and wave. I swear that was how she got elected. Mayor May was the first Sleepy Hollow official to ever get elected to office without being born and bred here. She was a quick talker and good with the old people who made up the majority of the population. She didn't know the history of all the familial generations, how my grandfather had built eternal slumber with his own hands, or how Sleepy Hollow had been a big coal town back in the day, which made her a bit of an outsider. Still, she was a good mayor and everyone seemed to like her. All the men in the room eyed Mayor May's wiggle as she made her way down the center aisle of the viewing room. A few smacks could be heard from the women punching their husbands in the arm to stop them from gawking. Ruthie said, "I know, especially now with that new development happening in town. It's why I wanted to talk to her." New development? This was the first time I had heard anything about a new development. There hadn't been anything new in Sleepy Hollow in a long time. We could certainly use a little developing, but it would come at the risk of disturbing Sleepy Hollow's main income. The town was a top destination.